Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome to my book corner. Today we have a tag video. This was originally created by the bookstore, and I first saw this on Cat's channel over at Ginger Bibliophile. Links to both of those will be down below for you to check out. This is the It Can't Be Books booktube tag, and this is to see if any of us actually do anything other than books in our spare time. So, really quick one. There's 6 prompts plus a 7th one to tag people. So let's dive straight into this one. What is something you own way too many of other than books? And this is the easiest question I could possibly answer. Video games. I have, and I've had to add them up over multiple different things, a minimum of 839 PC video games. That doesn't include ones that I have access to things like Game Pass. That's just ones that I own. I do have more on top of that, which I own through Amazon as well. So it's probably pushing 875. So yeah, bit of an addiction there. Gaming for many years was my primary media outlet. Ahead of books, books has only usurped it in the last 18 months or so. So there we go. Number 2, what is something that you do for fun that's not reading books? So obviously video games is one. I'm not really much of a film or TV watcher at the moment, although there are a few things that I do watch. The new season of Doctor Who, for example, has started, and the last episode, called Boom, is so good. But the other thing that I do is I play TTRPGs, mainly Dungeons and Dragons, quite often with my good friend Noah at the Bookworm, and to put it mildly, I am quite mechanically driven in these things. So quite often I will be given a challenge on the lines of, you cannot break this, or what's the worst you could do? I don't think it's meant to be a challenge, but I take it as one. So I tend to play various types of Chaos Gremlin, basically. Also things with Fireball. I've done some online games as well. Also played Call of Cthulhu once as well, where I taught someone into climbing themselves into a torpedo and shooting themselves at Cthulhu. Well, that was fun. And I do DM occasionally as well, so that normally leads to trauma on the player's parts. They are not afraid of touching things or picking up shiny glowing objects, so that's always fun. Number 3, what is something special or important that you keep on your nightstand that isn't a book? I don't have a nightstand. Right next to my bed is a window ledge on one side, which has nothing on it. And on the other side of it is my bookcase, which has books on it. There's not really a huge amount of things that I attribute that much importance to in terms of material stuff. The closest thing is the rose quartz, which is here. But that can end up anywhere in the house at any point of the day anyway. There's nothing really that if I lost it, I'd feel particularly heartbroken over. I don't really have a connection to material things like that. So, number 4, what's something you buy at a bookstore that isn't a book? Coffee. To drink while reading the book. That's largely because the Waterstones in Manchester, which is the biggest, closest one to where I live, has a coffee shop in it. And I like coffee, I like books. It works. Now, if it wasn't for that, because that feels like a cheat answer, I should say, it would probably be board games or something TTRPG related. But on saying that, generally speaking, I will find the stuff cheaper elsewhere, or go to a more specialised store somewhere, like potentially Forbidden Planet, or there's another one, and I can't think what it's called, in Manchester, that is entirely board game related as well. I'll throw it on the screen once I remember what it's called. What I wouldn't buy is bookmarks, because I don't use them, because I vandalise books. So there we go. Number 5, what fun gift have you received that isn't a book or a gift card for books? Well, some things can't be shown on the internet. No, joking. But what I did get for my 40th birthday, which was just over a year, 18 months ago nearly at this point, was this, which looks pretty incongruous. But this is a set of dice for D&D. And where's my D20? And they light up. So light up dice. The drawback is that these have not defeated my dice curse. So I still can't seem to be able to roll more than an average of 4 on a 20-sided dice. The dice do truly abandon me on a regular basis. So, well, that's probably most notable one, to be honest. So that was off the D&D group that we play with, which is mainly people that we work with. So that was fun. Number 6, what's a YouTube channel you watch that isn't related to books? Bizarrely, I don't watch a huge amount of booktube, and I never really have done. Most of the stuff that I watch, and this will surprise a few people, Kat especially, I suspect, has tended to be film or TV media related. Quite often it's lore deep dives or it's reviews of stuff. Just out of curiosity, quite often I won't get around to actually watching any of it. Or it's video game related, and quite often this will be lore deep dives into some of the games that I've played. So if you want one that's quite fashionable at the moment that I've been playing since the 90s as a game series, you've got Fallout. So for that series, for example, Oxhorn, who does a number of different deep dives on various video game lore, but his Fallout series is absolutely outstanding. So if you've watched the series, and if you have, let me know what you thought of it down below. If you've watched the series and you want more information on the world, there's a lot of content there, but it's well worth checking out. Also, as well, there's going to be more than one channel I'm going to mention here. I quite like the idea of how video game mechanics would work in the real world. So there's a channel that I've followed for many years, and again, this linked to Fallout. That's how I found them, called the Shoddycast. And what they do in there is they do the Science of series, which is hosted by Austin. Austin had a period where he was over at the Game Theorist doing this series as well, before he went back to Shoddycast and took the series with him. And this basically takes some real-world maths and applies it to stuff in games. The most recent one being how powerful are the pistons in Minecraft, and he uses math, which is far too complicated for me to understand, to explain just how broken this would be in the real world. Also, if you're into films or sci-fi TV shows, Rowan J. Coleman is a really, really interesting YouTuber to check the videos out of, where he does deep dives into various media, including behind-the-scenes stuff. Really interesting videos there. But the one, and I'm saving the best one for me personally till last, that I've watched for over a decade at this point, it's called the Jimquisition. This is hosted by Stephanie Sterling. And Steph is a video game commentator, part-time wrestler as well nowadays, who's moved back to the UK in the last few years, spent several years living in the US. Former video game journalist with like Structoid and The Escapist, and very much has a series where they uncover and talk about a lot of the stuff within the gaming industry. Quite often it's the seedier underbelly of the gaming industry, things like loot boxes and how they're not classed as gambling, but they absolutely are targeted at people that are susceptible to gambling impulses, stuff like that. There's also a podcast around that they do called the Jimquisition as well, which is well worth a listen every week. And I've watched this for many, 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 many years. It also does general video game reviews on a blog, as well as Let's Plays occasionally, streams, and just in general, it's become very much my go-to for a lot of video game related news and information, although not the only one, because obviously pull all your knowledge from multiple sources. So that leaves us with number 7, which is tag 5 booktubers. I'm not going to tag anyone specific in this one. If you've watched this video, consider yourself tagged, because that's how this works. So, and also, plenty of other people have probably already done this by the time this goes up, or will be doing it today, so that's fun. So there we go. We're under 10 minutes. We are. This is a first for me. That's my video for today. I hope you've enjoyed this book tag. If you are planning on doing this, if you tag me so I can come and learn more about you, that would be grand. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you all soon.